Hello guys, I'm so excited that I finally have just received my new book, which is Training, Nutrition, Supplementation in Bodybuilding. You can purchase this book on Amazon. In this book, you're going to find basics regarding how to eat, how to work out, and what supplements to use in bodybuilding, and along with my other book, which is already available, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, actually speaks about drug use, which is the improved version of my very first book, The PEDs Used in Sports. Somebody has the whole package of knowledge in order to fulfill his targets. Thank you so far for the positive feedback and the good comments, and I hope you do like it.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Tsouliatos, brought to you by his books. The original book, Bodybuilding, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And then during quarantine, he came up with the sequel, Training, Nutrition, Supplementation in Bodybuilding, both of which are available on Amazon.com. And I hate to use you this way, doctor, but hey, if you're on Amazon, pick up Real Bodybuilding, Muscle Truth from 25 years in the trenches. Yeah. From Athens, Greece, Dr. Tsouliatos. How are you, sir?
Ron, how much does it cost your book?
You know, it's like varies. I've seen it like as low as like $5. I've seen it like $25 because they sell them used. It's just
it's available online now, huh?
Yeah, it's always been. I mean, I stopped personally selling it. I had a website for years, ronharrismuscle.com. I got rid of that. So I don't sell it anymore. I just leave it up to Amazon or whatever. But I get a couple sales here and there. It's not too bad.
I'll get it. And the next time we meet, I want you to sign it, take a picture,
Absolutely. Yeah. Say, how was your week, doctor?
It was all right. I just had a leg training 2 hours ago,
Oh, no.
Well, I squat 315 3 times. Not bad for an old man like me. Huh?
You know what? That's 315 more than I squat right now. So you're doing pretty well. Yeah. Putting loads on my spine just does not seem to be a good idea for me anymore.
You do press?
I do leg press, hack squat. Sometimes I can squat. Like I'm going to try to squat today, but my lower back just doesn't like squats anymore. It's okay. I squatted for many years.
You use a belt?
Doesn't matter. My spine. Remember I put up that picture of my spine and you said I had scoliosis?
You should try the Smith machine.
Yeah, Smith is safer for me. Yeah, I mean, I'm 51. I've been training for like 36, 37 years. So
I mean, you look great. Your body looks like 30 years old,
Oh, thank you. In the right light. But yeah. And my son turned 21, so now he's legal. I can kick him out of the house now. I'm not going to do that. He can stay for a little while longer. But
pay your rent.
Well, we actually started taking money from him. He was living rent-free. I was paying for his car insurance for years, and now we're like, you know what? He's old enough. Let's get some money out of this kid. Let him learn some responsibility. Well, doctor, we got some great questions. Let's start right off. These all came from the comment section of last week's YouTube video, guys. That's where we want you to leave the questions. And don't make the questions this long. That's too long. Right about this.
By the way, Ron, this week I have a Tuesday Dr. T online article. Huh? I had a brilliant idea, how to match PCT with TRT. PCT is a stage before, if it doesn't work, TRT. So, yes, I had a brief article that I will post it tomorrow,
Okay, yeah, I thought we were all done. That's why I stopped talking about Dr. T Tuesdays, but tomorrow
I need some ideas,
Yeah. Inspiration. Yeah. No, I know how that goes. Believe me, when I used to be a freelancer, I used to have to sit around all day and think of, what should I write about? What should I write about? Yeah.
There's some times that I have an idea, just like the Holy Spirit, comes.
Yeah. It's inspiration. That's what they call it. It just comes. People say, where do your ideas come from? I don't know. They come from somewhere. I don't know. All right. Well, here we go. Let's start helping these people. This guy says, I will use testoviron, which is an enanthate, I believe, from Germany. Testoviron, 250 milligrams every other day with 0.5 milligrams of anastrozole every other day. If I'll also take finasteride, will my free test spike more? I read that finasteride raises free testosterone. Here, the one for your hair, does it actually raise free test?
Yeah, well, actually, it raises estradiol, and this is not good because you look smoother, puffier, and if you lack DHT, then apart from these androgenic effects on sex drive, on self-esteem, on cognitive function. DHT is antiestrogenic, and perhaps it makes you look leaner. So you look puffier with DHT if you take it for a long time and in high doses, like 5 milligrams, which is the Proscar. The I don't know the drug in the States. Propecia, yes.
Propecia, yeah. Do I take that? I take Rogaine, a little minoxidil.
Regain is oral. Yeah, Regain is the foam, and Israel is the shampoo.
Yep.
They act locally, and they don't act systemically like you when you swallow the pill. And it's safer for the side effects, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it's working, to be honest.
This guy uses 250 per week of testoviron and 0.5 every other day anastrozole.
Yeah.
This is way too much. No. The most he can use is 1 milligram per week of anastrozole, you know, occasionally if he aromatizes, but 0.3 every other day is 2 milligrams per week. That's a lot, man. That's a lot for 250.
And well, he's 250 every other day, so that comes out to like about 800
250 every other day, not weekly.
Correct. So he's doing about 750 or 800 milligrams of test a week.
And on that case, actually 250 every other day, it's a waste because the half-life is 1 week. But we should inject cypionated enanthate twice weekly. This is the wise, frequency. Right. So why don't you shoot 250 on Monday and half a gram on Thursday, for instance? On that case, yes, I guess you're gonna need what he takes, but better do the dose apart 4 days, you know, instead of every other day. It sounds like propionate every other day. So if you want to avoid that frequent pain, and mind that 250 enanthate, it hurts because it's compact, it's dense solution, you know. It's not like propionate, which is 100 milligrams. It's really smooth in the butt. You know, it hurts 250.
Yeah, everything hurts. Here we go. This is a good question because we talk about GH and how to take it properly, and we've addressed this before, but this gentleman wants to know, do you have to be in a low insulin or fasted state when taking exogenous growth hormone? I've heard both sides. Some people say you do, others say it doesn't matter because it's exogenous. Which is it?
Yes, this is true what he mentions. The point is, if you have to do it on a fasted state, it's because of the avoidance of the insulin resistance. So if you're in a well-fed state and you inject growth hormone, you will trigger further hyperglycemia, which is elevated blood sugar levels. And this in the long term will give you insulin resistance and pre-diabetic state, type 2. So if you do it on a fasted state with a blood glucose levels below 80, it's more likely to avoid the glycemia and the insulin resistance in the long term. Okay.
Gotcha.
And my theory, my suspicion was that if you do it on a low insulin state, so when you're fasted, when you wake up in the morning with a blood glucose of 70, and you're really hungry, and you inject GH, you favor the fat burning process way more than when you are in a fed state. Okay.
Okay. See, that's important because if for a minute there it sounded like it doesn't matter. The GH will still be effective even if you eat your breakfast and take it.
When it's exogenous, yes. The point is we have to take under consideration the metabolic effects of GH, that they favor diabetes and also they favor fat burning. So it's like the empty stomach cardio. If you do it empty stomach, it's more likely to burn fat, like the GH, okay? And also we have to know that diabetes is a side effect, so don't do it when your glucose is high.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you said that because I guarantee you, a lot of people would say, if I get diabetes, no big deal. But when you say the fat burning
are you kidding me?
Aspects, oh yeah, bodybuilders don't give a shit, man. They don't care. They'd be like, diabetes, heart disease, yeah, whatever. I'll be fine. Trust me, guys. I know people that just think nothing can happen.
If you are Mr. Olympia, okay, the hell with it. But if nobody knows you, I mean, what the fuck?
These are just gym rats, doctor. They might do like a local show, you know. These are the guys I know. All right, next one is, I finished my first cycle before 8 days. I used, I'm trying to translate this. I used 350 tests for 7 weeks. ostarine 10 days before I start injections until the half of my cycle, then IgD until after 10 days for my last shot. So it was 10 weeks total. I still feel great. I still train heavy. My libido is great. Should I have a PCT?
Okay, have a lab and check it out yourself. If your labs are not good, then have a PCT. Now you say that you feel great, all right. But sometimes we may feel great because the free testosterone is high, but total testosterone is not. Anyway, the best way is do not suspect and find yourself if your HPTA is suppressed.
Yeah.
So
well,
have a lab.
I'm trying to, obviously a lot of these people writing to us are English isn't their first language and they don't speak English as well as you do.
This guy is Greek and he likes to use SARMs.
Okay. Because
I don't know if they're legitimate and what the source of the origin, but he says that, I mean, allegedly SARMs do not affect HPTA, all right? Now, it would be interesting if his HPTA lab work is not suppressed, because that's what SARMs are supposed not to do not suppress, okay? But, I mean, I have several cases that they do suppress.
And it sounds like he's only finished his cycle 8 days ago. Am I getting that right from the question? Which means if you were on test for 8 days, unless
no test, you use SARMs.
He used tests for 7 weeks, ostarine.
Test. He used testosterone.
So I think he used test the whole. But I'm trying to say is if you're on test.
I'm sorry because I misunderstood. Now, if
it's hard to understand.
For 7 weeks, that means 2 months. Then testosterone is still in the bloodstream, and you feel great 2 weeks later until it gets rid. Yeah, you were right about this.
Yeah, it's hard, it is hard to tell. But like I said, if you're on test, your last shot, you're still on test for a while. It takes a long time to completely get out of it. That's why a lot of guys, they look better like a couple weeks after a contest because the water, they're on a little less test and the water's gone. And anyway, let's go. Next one is on a bulk cycle, adding masteron enanthate with testosterone enanthate in a ratio 1:1 or 2:1. So should he do twice as much masteron or, because masteron's first. Is it more potent than using an AI? Because masteron seems to drop HDL more than an AI. Any advice?
I'm not sure about this, but definitely aromatase inhibitors are way more effective than the HT synthetic. Okay. So Arimidex, of course, Femara and Aromacin are way more strong than Proviron or Masteron, But the point is, before the 2000 decade, the only adiestrogenic agents were tamoxifen and drostanolone and mesterolone. However, I think bodybuilders have to abuse these agents. They were pharma grade, of course, in order to look dry and hard. I'm not sure if Masteron lowers that much HDL. I mean, too much of Proviron, yes, it may do, but I can tolerate 50 milligrams of Proviron and still my HDL be over 40. Okay. Of course, with daily cardio, with perfect nutrition, all right? And do not abuse, along with Proviron, testosterone, okay? The point is, aromatase inhibitors have other side effects also in the bone mineral density. They will crack your joints, okay? They'll affect your mood, your libido, the way you look jacked because there's not so much water retention, okay?
Yeah, that's why O'Connor talked me out of using one. I was about to go order some online and just start because I saw how high my estrogen was. He says, no. You don't want, if you don't have to use an AI, do not use an AI because it's so many side effects.
Some people are paranoid. They come to my office, Doc, look, my teeth is I say, so it's your idea. No, it's a matter of perspective. Is it painful? No. Now, just because a little bit protrudes means you have gyno. Fuck no.
It's called a nipple.
They have obsessive disorder. They are paranoid about, do I have gyno? Like they are fashion models or, they compete or they are beach boys, So during the winter, you don't have to be so much, unless you have pain, sore nipples.
Right, yeah. Gyno people, I have seen when people do get bad gyno, it's so unsightly. Like we've seen competitors, pros who they would have, I think they get placed lower just because of their gyno sometimes.
And actually Ronnie Coleman in his early stage, he had, the point is he was a fucking freak, so The health giant.
They're like, he's Ronnie. Let him go. Okay, this guy says, I am on TRT for 1.5 years now. I went from 125 milligrams to 250 milligrams of test. I'm feeling great and have very good blood work. I want to cut back my dose to 125 milligrams and introduce HCG to maintain my fertility. Secondary hypogonadism, 30 years old, no previous experience with AAS before that. What's the best dose of HCG to use alongside 125 milligrams test for a long time?
How often he uses testosterone per week? Once a week?
Doesn't say how often he injects, but he's been on 250 and he wants to go back to 125.
So 125, you can split it of 2 doses of 65 milligrams, for instance,
okay,
or 75, and make it 150 roughly.
Yep.
So if you inject 75 twice a week, 4 days apart, then you can introduce 250 of HCG these days, you know. So 75 testosterone and 250 HCG, double per week.
Perfect. Here's a good question. How liver toxic is proviron? And then are 25 milligrams a day enough? Zero. No. So no liver toxic at all.
If you take 100 milligrams, then supposedly you may have 2 digital liver enzymes, just about 50, for instance, but not 3 digital.
That's a lot, 100 milligrams.
Well, 100 milligrams, several bodybuilders take, you know, wow. 50 p.m. Yeah. Well, I heard more, you know, I heard 10 pills a day, so 250.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, 5 and 5 pre-contest. I mean, to get on stage.
Yeah.
They push it to the limit to get hard.
Wow. What about this dosage? 25 milligrams a day. Would that be enough?
Not at all. I assure you. I run 365 proviron. Yeah. 25 is my cruise, 50 is my blast. Okay. My liver, of course, I inject glutathione, take NAC, but there's no really concern of pharmaceutical hepatitis. There are more things to worry about with Anavar, for instance, rather than masteron. It's the only steroid which is not simply alkylated, or the oral steroid, you know, because we have also testosterone oral, which is androgenicity, but no, it's not liver toxic.
Yeah, so 25 if you're cruising.
Yes, fair enough. Yes.
If you're on a TRT, an actual TRT dose, like 100 to 200 milligrams, but all these guys out there are doing 500, 1,000.
Absolutely, I have labs. I mean, for my patients, and it's no worry about this.
Okay. Here's a kidney question. How to avoid or minimize kidney damage from oral steroids?
Well, a very good factor would be to have a normal blood pressure. Because if you smoke, if you abuse CNS stimulants, and if you have also a hereditary thing about blood pressure, then, you know, atherosclerosis means that you have the cholesterol plaques and also hard, fragile arteries that are the result of smoking. So if you don't smoke, your arteries are smoother, they can relax and contract better. They're not so fragile in order to have a rupture, but also smoking elevates blood pressure because nicotine is a nootropic and it's sympathetic mimetic. So abusing caffeine and ephedrine and clenbuterol and amphetamines and thyroxine, and plus some smoking on top of it, then it will elevate your blood pressure if you take excess of sodium also. And then it's a problem in the long term abusing trembolone, you know, to have a segmental glomerulosclerosis like Connor mentions. And this is not a cool scenario.
Is that what Flex Wheeler had? The SHBG?
No, Flex had deep venous thrombosis.
Oh, okay.
In his
what he earlier he had like a kidney disease for years, SHBG?
I think so, yeah. The most common is when the glomerulus, which is actually the filter, then gets hardened, you know, and it doesn't work then properly, and then you pee protein in your urine, you know.
Yikes, that's scary. Here we go. Next one is, I've been on a cycle of Test and Tren, 300 milligrams of each a week, and 50 milligrams of proviron a day for 12 weeks. So 300 Test, 300 Tren. I went for blood work, and my creatinine was slightly elevated at 109. And EGFR at 84 ml/min, 1.73 m and some weird sign too. Hopefully you can read this. In addition, my HDL was 30 and LDL 110. Everything else good. How do these markers look? I've been on cycle for 9 weeks now. are the blood markers terribly distorted? In other words, could I run such a cycle again in the future if these are the deviations that are present at such doses? So he wants you to rate his blood work. Is he okay or not?
Not yet. He needs at least 4 weeks in order to elevate his HDL and lower his LDL, so above 40 and below 100.
Yeah.
And actually, it looks reasonable if you abuse, if you use Trenbolone, then you're going to have these slight deviations,
Yeah.
It's a classic side effect.
So he wants to know if he wants to do this cycle again. Are these numbers okay? Is he in danger?
He has to boost from 30 to 40 his HDL, and he has to lower his LDL from 110 to 2 digital, so 99 and below, so 100 and below. Yes.
Okay.
It takes about 4 weeks, a month, in order to do this process with proper supplementation.
Yeah. If he's taking those supplements during the cycle, would those help him or not?
Yes, this is a good point. So if you take these supplements precautiously, as preventive rules, you're not going to have such a distortion. So it could be 35 and 105.
Yeah.
So he has to wait a little bit. This is the main reason to enter again a cycle, to have perfect biochemistry.
Theoretically. Okay. Next one is, can using HCG inhibit natural LH production by negative feedback for people on PCT?
Yes, absolutely. It does, actually. It does. The point is, afterwards, we use the SERMs. So let me get this simple. So HCG kicks the balls, but shuts off the brain. Then we use SERMs that kick the brain, and through this elevation, then also testosterone elevates. But HCGs, it's how you call it? It's fundamental. It's really critical to be used in first place, because I had a case when the guy started with the SERMs because he couldn't find HCG, and in the end, his labs were a good testosterone with a shut off gonadotropin. So it's unorthodox, non-orthodox, in order to use first the SERMs and then the HCG. It has to be combined with a proper sequence.
Okay. And the final question, I don't know if we can answer this one, because it's, how long would it take for Anadrol at 50 to 100 milligrams a day to shut down the HPTA? Can this be taken for some weeks and not lose much effectiveness from the decrease of exogenous test and androgen? Thank you, gentlemen. Estrogen.
Well, if it's used alone, Anadrol doesn't convert to estrogen because it's the HT derivative. So estrogens are one of the factors that shut off HPTA. Okay. Another factor is, of course, the dose of the drug and the duration of the drug. And another reason is the androgenicity. So I don't think Anadrol is so androgenic, like other steroids. Therefore, if it's used alone at 50 milligrams, then perhaps, I guess, in 4 weeks, you're going to notice a suppression,
Yeah. Yeah.
Similar suppression of what Anavar and Winstrol do,
Yeah. If you used higher, would 100 milligrams shut you down faster than 50?
Yeah. You're going to notice sooner,
Okay.
the suppression, but everything suppresses, to a lesser or to a greater degree,
True. All right. Well, that's all the questions, Doctor. We did a great job again, as always. And guys, Dr. T Tuesday is back. Was it even gone a week? I think it was gone 1 week. But it's only when the doctor's inspired, because we want good content. We want things that the doctor's passionate about.
I give people 45 articles online. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah. Geez, this is number 82 for this show. 82. Boy, if we do 100, we're gonna have to have a party, right?
Well, it's gonna be 104 on March, just before the Arnold Classic. I hope the Arnold Classic will take place.
Oh, it'll take place, but I don't know about expos. I don't know if any of the expos are going to happen anyway.
The same thing, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess it depends on the state. Like maybe if it was in Florida.
So you believe that the educational and the show will occur?
Yeah.
All right.
But it could be just athletes, officials, and media. No spectators. Let's hope not. We're still looking at 6 months away. A lot can change between now and then. So we'll see. Yeah, nobody knows anything. Planet Hollywood.
If the vaccine is out before the Arnold Classic, I guess they're going to make it obligatory,
Well, maybe they're going to make it like you can't come unless you have the vaccine, unless you got proof you were vaccinated. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I'll get vaccinated, my cat. And then I say I did it, you know.
So you're not going to take the vet? Well, I guess that's a whole argument for another time. This vaccine.
I'm afraid, well, you know, I'd rather get sick of it and get, you know, infected. And I believe I can make it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the polio vaccine took like 20 years to before it was ready for human use. The polio vaccine.
The trials take some time, you know. This is way too fast, and I don't know.
Yeah. Scary times.
I'm not against vaccination. Soon I'm gonna take the flu vaccine, you know.
Yeah, I had that.
But this shit is really makes me, I don't know, afraid. Perhaps I'm intimidated. Yes.
Well, I mean, it could give you something worse than COVID. You know, who knows? We don't know. I mean, unless it hasn't. There's been no trials. There's no time. They're just rushing this into production, like now, you know, now.
There is one American brand, I think Johnson & Johnson, that claims they have ready the vaccine only in one shot, because all the other brands, they need the 2 doses, you know, so you have to repeat it.
I mean, it's not a huge deal. There's a lot of vaccines that you have to have in 2 stages. Gardasil that the kids take for HPV, like my kids took that. They do one vaccine, and then I think 3 months later they have to come back and do it again.
Hepatitis B also, hepatitis B.
Oh, they have to. Is that a 2-stage vaccine too? Yeah. So, all right.
Measles.
Well, guys.
Yeah. Also, yes, measles.
So people, questions for the doctor, please leave them in the comment section under here. Try not to make them too long. If it's your life story, that's great, but we don't have time for that because we're trying to help a lot of people every week. So please leave them there. And Dr. T Tuesdays is Tuesday tomorrow. Actually, this is coming out on Tuesday. So go to musculardevelopment.com. Check out the new article by Dr. Tuliados after you watch the video, of course. If you like these videos, please share them. Tell your friends. Yeah, we want to get the message out there. We're trying to help.
We're show number 1 online regarding the educational aspect, you know?
That was number 1?
Show online on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, we're the number 1 show.
Educational, because the volume we provide is enormous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody else answering, you know, 10 to 15 questions every week like this for free, might add. That's all we ask, guys. So that's why we're
give a little bit of cheese to the cat, huh?
Cheese to the cat. So share the videos, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we appreciate it. That's it. Dr. Tuliados, thank you so much for taking your time, expertise. And check him out on Instagram. It's Dr. George Tuliados. He's looking pretty jacked. He's got all his muscle back. He's putting on new muscle, it looks like. Yeah, over there in Athens. Cool stuff. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Ask Dr. Testosterone. We'll see you next time.